I never want to date.
Yeah.
Why?
I think that dating in LA is extremely pointless. Some, they would say like, are you still dating this person?
And then?
And I would say, yeah. And then I would get screenshots. Some of them were also married. And it was very, it was very strange.
His friends.
Yes.
have.
And he thrives off of their clout.
Sure.
Yes.
So he's a climber.
I wouldn't say a
We
climber.
didn't say that.
He's a mooch.
I'm not going to say that.
No.
But no.
He's a moocher.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you can only blame someone for so long until you start realizing that it's you who put up with something.
I fell in love like the first night I met him. I think that's why I was just like obsessed with him, or we were obsessed with each other. She would call me, I wouldn't answer, I wouldn't go out without him. I like was just a shell of a human being, and I only wanted to spend my time with him. I only wanted to be around him 24/7. When I wasn't with him, I was thinking about him. Free from jail is what we say. It's just like you're literally like, I don't know, you're just like, it feels like you're mentally insane. And she's like, okay, like you either come home now and you blow it up right now, or you sit through the dinner and then you like come home like later.
Welcome to Unattainable. Glad to have you with us and hope you continue to be a part of our family for the foreseeable future. And if so, please hit that subscribe button. I am Mohammed Malay here with our newest guest of the day, Heva and Carly. How are you?
Hi.
Good, how are you?
You seem shook.
I'm very like, I don't know what to
I've never spoken into a microphone. Like, I don't think ever.
I feel like Mariah Carey and Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
That's funny. Why don't you introduce yourselves, where you're from, how old you are, what you do, so on and so forth.
Okay, do you want me to start?
Mm-hmm.
My name is Heva. I'm 23. I'm born and raised in LA. I'm a pre-law student, so I'm applying to law school right now. I don't work right now. So
No shame.
yeah.
I'm Carly. I'm 24. I do social media marketing, and I'm born and raised in LA.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
You said you're 26?
23.
23.
Yeah.
23, 24. You guys went to the same school?
Yeah, we met in
Yeah.
college, University of Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, the party school.
Yeah, we really
We experienced
together.
college. Yeah.
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 What's up with that school? Why does it have that stigma around it?
Honestly, it changed a lot over the years. It kind of it became really really different from when I first went there and then when I graduated.
How long were you there? 4 years?
4 years, yeah. She was the grade above me,
Yeah.
but we were
We
in
also
this,
went during the pandemic, so
Yeah.
halfway through it was like go to junior year, spring break, come home, pandemic, and then it was completely different.
Sure.
But it was still so much fun.
Different how?
it's just like it started trying to become like this thing that like when I first went there and started going there, it was like, you know, had the Greek life, for example, was a lot more, I don't know, more established. It started kind of depreciating and kind of falling apart like year 2, year 3, and then a lot of random crimes and stuff started happening too. So it just came, the crowd of people and things like that started to change pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, when freshman and sophomore year, we'd go to parties like no problem, and then we leave for the pandemic, come back, and then everything's like listed, and you have to have wristbands, and
yeah, it became like this like kind of like influencer town, and it's Tucson, Arizona. It's not an influencer town, like it's, and like they started making like clubs and stuff. It was interesting to see it kind of progress.
Well, now I see these Instagram ads. They're not ads really. I mean, I guess they are kind of ads of sororities popping up, and there was just like fucking 20 white blonde chicks clones of each other, just like
ASU is honestly even worse. Sorry to anyone who goes to ASU.
We were pretty bad though. Like we just, thank God we didn't like post like on social media.
Yeah,
dancing.
No. Oh, not only that, but just like I'm happy I didn't post a lot of sorority stuff in general.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Super cringe.
It's just, it's not to like abide by like the bias of it all, but like it's your sorority girl, like, you kind of fit into a category when you're a sorority girl, and you'll see like people like posting like their like sorority letters and stuff, and it looks like that's their whole entire kind of like personality.
I think it's cute though, like
it's
when
cute.
you're in college, but then delete it.
When you're
But then
not
you
in
grow
college.
up and you're like,
Yeah,
But you have to go through it. Like I loved it in the first 2 years.
I ended up leaving the sorority, so
Yeah, you did.
why?
I just didn't care to attend like chapter and didn't go to
So
things.
it's not that you got kicked out.
No. I didn't get kicked out. I just wasn't involved in it by year like starting my junior year, I just had no desire to be singing and clapping and singing songs and wearing.
Is that what they do?
Yeah, I actually got kicked out of Rush because senior year was on Zoom, and I remember,
which is so strange.
Yeah, you have to go back to school 2 weeks early, and it's on Zoom. And I remember the girl that ran it like texted me. She's like, "You look so miserable. Like you need to not be in this." And I was like, "Thank you. I don't want to be here anyways."
I do remember that.
Remember?
Yeah.
I wasn't even sad. I was like, "Thank
But
God."
I mean, it was a good time too. The cool thing about Tucson is it's really close to Phoenix. It's only a 2-hour drive. So anytime you want to leave Tucson, you can just drive up and have some fun in more established city. Yeah, but it's really hot too. Arizona gets really, really hot. So
interesting. So, okay, what's your current dating status, relationship status?
I'm single.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Why do you say it like that?
I never want to date.
We became single the same week.
I never want to date.
Yeah.
Why?
I think that dating in LA is extremely pointless.
Why is that?
I don't think that you can really establish strong connections here.
Because?
Especially, I mean, if you're going out and if you're, in that scene and consistently, like, everyone kind of just gets with everyone, and it's just, you're not going to really find loyalty in a place like LA.
Is that what happened to you?
Oh, wow.
I discovered some things, to say the least. Yeah.
Which is?
Like, definitely some cheating and stuff.
How did you discover?
How did I discover?
Uh-huh.
Many ways. I got some hey girly DMs. I got some I got post tagged in like some TikToks and like stuff like that. I went out to a couple like events and things, and people that I had mutual friends with that actually she's mutual friends with, I found DMs were being sent and things like that. So it seemed like everyone in LA was being hit up by the same person.
So you were so you were seeing this one guy.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll call him Sam.
Sure.
And then
imagine if that actually was his name. It's not. But yeah.
We'll call him Victor.
Victor, sure.
Sure.
But yeah.
And then so Victor goes and is dating you for how long?
Like a year.
But were you ever dating?
We weren't actually. Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, to me, I thought we were.
So he never said we're in a relationship.
No, that did happen. That conversation did arise. I mean, I said no a couple of times, but then eventually it happened. And
wait. You had a conversation where he said, "Let's be in a relationship."
Yes.
And then you said no.
Twice, yes.
You said twice no.
I said no twice.
And
yes.
then it happened again a third time.
Yes.
Or it didn't. Okay, so the conversation happened a third time, and you said
yes.
You said yes.
Yes.
And at this point, how long have you guys been dating?
Honestly, like probably a few months. Like, but I mean, we've known each other for years.
Yeah.
Point being,
not long. Okay, we weren't dating for a long time.
Okay.
But we were like very in each other's lives, like very together often.
Sure. So you were assuming he's not gonna fuck you over.
Yeah, very delusional.
We all were.
I was very delusional.
But having known him for as long as you have, outside of the dating, was he loyal to other people? No. Okay. No. So you thought you'd be the one to fix him. You thought you'd be the one to. I just
really enjoyed being around him. And I kind of like put a mask over, a blindfold over my eyes in a sense, where I just believed anything and everything that he told me. I'm also, I become very committed. So
sure.
I chose to believe, or chose to not look at all the red flags. You chose to
disregard the red flags.
Yeah, and treat it like
all of the 400 million.
Yeah, many red flags.
Name like 2.
That's a good game.
There's so many that just popped into my head. Just like social media stuff. That's one of my biggest red flags. That's also a reason I would probably never date. Is because in LA social media is so prevalent, and it's like kind of how you connect with people. Like when you go out, you get someone's Instagram, or you get their, I don't know if people still use Snapchat, but you get their Snapchat, you get their number, and then you connect on social media and stuff like that. And then that's when it kind of all starts. But I would say that was a red flag, social media prevalence, just seeing what he was doing on social media. And
I don't know, what was he doing?
I mean, anytime I would like glance over, I'd find something or see something, like a liking of a certain picture that was just doesn't need to be liked.
Okay.
But that's a very basic one. Another one was just how often like he would go out without me. And I was like, yeah, he's loyal. Why? I don't know. But there's some more. Honestly, I can't even think of that. But it's kind of just the whole entire him. And
then how long did you guys break up?
What day?
Yeah, what's today's date?
The
very
17th.
Very recently. Yeah, it's the 17th.
And how was the ending?
I found out a lot. Honestly, I wasn't even looking for it. After I found out one or two people it was actually one of her friends, found out that he was sending her like DMs and stuff. But after that,
but how did you find out that? I don't understand. Did these people like hit you up and were like
some yeah, they would say like, are you still dating this person?
And then
I would say yeah, and then I would get screenshots saying, or like I'm assuming that they would see that like on social media.
Screenshots of him messaging them.
Yes, correct.
And he knows that you have that these girls know you.
Yeah, yeah. Some of them were also married. And it was very it was very strange.
Yeah.
Like one
Very
thing that
strange behavior.
and what sucks about seeing all of it is at a certain point, and I mean like very quickly, I was not looking for it. I wasn't digging for it, anything like that. And then it just started revealing more and more things. And then I was getting tagged in TikToks. Why
are you getting tagged in TikToks? What? I don't understand. Was he posting videos of himself like?
No, I don't.
His social circle is like all like like influencers.
Yes.
Okay.
So through that, I was getting sent these messages, but I was also like, I asked a couple people that I had kind of assumed and that I kind of knew like in the same kind of like the.
Oh, you were getting tagged in the
like mutual people or mutual friends or friends of friends.
I kind of assumed he was hooking up with.
Yeah, I just kind of assumed that. I always had kind of like an inkling of or a suspicion, and I'm not really afraid of confrontation. I don't look for it.
Did he have clout? Does he have clout?
No.
He doesn't have clout.
What would you say?
I think his
friends
have
clout.
And he thrives off of their clout.
Sure.
Yes. Yes.
So he's a climber.
I wouldn't say a climber.
We didn't say that.
I wouldn't say a climber.
No, I'm saying it.
I would just say kind of like I don't want to be like, I don't want to be mean.
He's a mooch.
I'm not gonna say that,
no.
but no.
He's a moocher.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah, but then also
so he brings in nothing to the table. He just mooches off of other people around him.
I got, but it was really unfortunate too because I was seeing these DMs and like he wasn't even sending me these DMs. He was like sliding up on people's stories and like.
Yeah, but you're already in the pocket.
Exactly.
So you're
deep in the pocket.
Yeah, I mean
you
don't touch a ball
in the
that's
back
already
pocket,
in
the pants that are hung up, like not even on the pants he's wearing. I'm just there, you know.
You're there for the good time and just.
Yeah.
Very loyal girl.
Right. Well, that's so then you confront him and you say, "Yo, what's up?"
Yeah, I confronted him and I was like, "What do you have to say about this?"
What did he say?
His response was, "Are you DMing anyone?" That was I still have not gotten an apology or anything like that. But,
Sure.
But yeah.
And so his response was, "Are you DMing anyone?" And you said no.
Mm-hmm.
And then.
I blocked him.
Oh, this wasn't in person.
No.
Oh, this conversation was not in person.
No, because I don't think I would be able to face that just yet.
What would you do? Like you mean like slash his neck off his body?
No,
or like...
I think I would just cry. I think I would just be so sad.
Right.
And then I wouldn't want to end up in the situation where I'm believing what he's saying again.
Right.
And I'm like finding excuses for him or his behavior or his treatment towards me. I mean, in a situation like this, I had to really, and I told you this actually, in this situation, I had to, you can only blame someone for so long until you start realizing that it's you who put up with something, right?
Absolutely, for sure.
So you can say, well, you did this to me, and you did this to me, and you did this to me, but who stayed?
Right.
Me.
Right.
So at the end of the day, a lot of it still fell on me.
Mm.
And I don't know if that's me also, once again, finding an excuse for it all, but
Oh,
it's
no, I
also just
100% agree.
maturity,
Yeah.
you know? So
Yeah.
when you end up in a situation like that, situationship, right? That's the golden word these days. That you can really only, you can't blame anyone besides yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take accountability, otherwise you're not going to grow.
Exactly.
You know, and that's the bottom line.
Yep.
So we'll come back to a disaster that seems to be
Victor
your dating
Sam,
life.
yeah.
Mine's
what
worse,
happened with
so
you?
it doesn't
Is
matter.
it?
It's like way worse.
Is it?
No, not.
Well, thank God.
Hers is bad.
Tell
Mine's
us.
pretty bad. Tell us.
Yours is really bad.
I don't even know where to start. It's too long.
You can start with the timeline, maybe.
Yeah, when did you start dating? How did you meet him?
We met him when I was in high school. He was in college. We were both dating other people.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have the biggest crush on him. I was like, oh my God, so cute.
But how did you even end up in the same circle? to meet?
Well, then he was at the college I went to, and then a few years later I went there, and then nothing ended up happening there.
Arizona.
Yeah, U of A. Then he graduated because he was older, and I came back to LA once, and I posted something, and he swiped up and was like, "Come out with me tonight," and I was like, "No," and then I ended up with him, and then it was very casual for a while, but then
Okay, hold on.
what?
What do you mean? I said no, and then I ended up with it.
Because I'm like, I don't want to just. I wanted it, when I'm home and I'm when I'm single, I'm really a girl's girl, and I like to be with my friends. I don't like to put
run to guys,
my friends on hold and be like, I'm just gonna show up and see you. I'm gonna go about my night. If I end up with you, then I do. But if I don't, then
it's not a necessary or requirement.
Right. So I was like, no, I'm busy, and then I ended up going out with my friend, and she ended up with someone, and I responded hey, I'm next door. Yeah, I gave in.
Sure.
And then we had an amazing night. We had so much fun, and I left. I went back to Arizona, and then I came back a few times, and we hung out. And then I fell in love the first night I met him.
You become infatuated quickly.
Yeah, even the first time, back in high school, I was like, I'm in love. I always say love at first sight. I don't really know what it is, to be honest, but it's always with certain people that I've dated that I've said I love you to is I just know. And then fast forward 3 years.
It's called infatuation, but continue.
Yeah, I guess I need to learn the difference between that and love at first sight. And then went back to school and was just so infatuated. And then I was long distance, so he didn't really want anything, which fair. I respect that. I was the one in college though, and I really wanted to be with him. And then just so long ago, 4 years ago. And then I just came back and forth, and I was telling him, I want to be with you. And he was like, no. But I was fine because he was like, you're in college, have your time, and then we'll see where it goes. But I was still getting strung along, and he was still doing stuff with other people. I don't know.
I wouldn't consider that being strung along. He was saying no.
Yeah, you're right. He was saying
you
no.
were going
and I was
for
like,
more.
no, I want. But he was saying I wasn't hooked. He was saying we were exclusive, but I don't want a title. And I was like, okay, so that means that we're exclusive.
This is a
That's
therapy
what that
session.
means. I'm
Yeah,
not sleeping
we're
with
literally
other people.
It wasn't. I was just finding out things
Sure.
And then it was no, that's not my profile on Hinge. No. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. I don't know. So stupid. Whatever. And
were
then
you with other people though?
No.
Okay, you weren't.
No, I wasn't. I was not. And
sure.
I was in college, and I should have been. But I wasn't. And then graduated.
Graduated when?
2021.
So 2 years ago. You
Also,
graduated.
okay, I forgot to mention this part. Pandemic, junior year, I went to spring break to Newport with all of our crazy friends. And then I remember that everything was shutting down, and my parents were like, you can go back to Tucson. You have an apartment there, but I couldn't, they lived with my grandma, and I couldn't party and be around them and her. So I had nowhere to live in LA. I had to live with my friend or him. So I was at his house all the time. I didn't have a car because my parents got rid of it when I went to school. I didn't have a place to live. So I was kind of really it was all at once. It was too much. I was at his apartment with his roommates, and after a month of staying there and kind of going to my friends' places, we both were this is way too soon. maybe like go back to Tucson and like live there. If you're going to be partying, you can't go home. So that, I think that got us like super close, really weird and like quickly. And then I think that's why I was just like obsessed with him, or we were obsessed with each other. So I thought, because we were spending every single day together and we were not going out. We weren't doing anything. We were just 24/7 together. And then I went back to school and I was just like, I would always ask him like, I want to be together. He would, no. And then finally one day it just happened. And then I went back to school. And then, I don't know, there's just like so much, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, we broke up. I broke up with him like 2 weeks ago. Because
he was cheating.
Yeah.
Is that all he's done? But you said it's a lot worse, but I feel like it's the same thing.
It's bad.
I mean, there's a lot of things that I don't want to give away too much because I don't know who's going to see this.
I mean, everybody's going to see it.
Yeah. So let's just say he was cheating, and I'm going to speak my truth. And I really believe this because I got back together with him after that happened before. And then I really believed it would not. I believed it would change. I was like, I'm not going to check your phone. I'm not going to, like, if I find it organically, then it was meant to be. Like, because I was like, this could be the one. Like, this really could be the one. Mm-hmm. But that also could be a trauma bond or toxicity. Like, I don't know. And I was like, this is the one. But like, if someone tells me or I find proof of something because I was manipulated out of it, then I'm done. Like, this is the last time. I have to be done. Like, I swear to God, like, I told myself if I organically am able to find something and I'm not manipulated out of it, then I need to like be done, because I was not myself with him. I was like a completely like,
yeah, we would never hang out.
She would call me, I wouldn't answer. I wouldn't go out without him. I like was just a shell of a human being, and I only wanted to spend my time with him. I only wanted to be around him 24/7. When I wasn't with him, I was thinking about him. What are you doing? Who are you with? And all those fucking things were true, which is the craziest part.
We were actually talking about this every day that we've been together since she's been free.
Free from jail is what we say.
Yes.
Not actually. It was fine, but it was just a different reality I was living in.
Mm-hmm. We just have been saying every day, what would we be doing instead if we were still with them?
Yeah, and I think about it, I'm way happier to be with you and having like so much fun together.
Yeah, I'm also just feel more just, I don't know, appreciated, and I feel like I'm not, I don't know. I told
her, we were sitting on the couch the other day. Obviously, one of us is like crying, and then one of us is like throwing up, and then one not like from hangover, just like anxiety and like really feeling the feelings. Because I'm like, I want to fucking feel this and get it out of my system and move on. And like, we were sitting on the couch for like 3 hours, and the TV was off, and we were just laughing. And I'm like, I haven't felt this happy around a human being in literally years. Like, this is how it should feel with your partner.
Yeah, we
even though we probably are soulmates at this point, I don't know, but
address that.
Yeah.
Where if like I was telling her about like this job, for example, that I was kind of applying for, and I wasn't able to do that with him. I wasn't able to really tell him about my day and stuff, and I wanted to, but I wasn't able. Like, that interest in my life, I don't think was there on his part. So now I only ever want to spend time with people that I do feel like I'm not wasting time, you know. And a lot of people, I don't know, a lot of that attention, or a lot of that, it can be confused with just getting attention. I want more of like acceptance and feeling cared for, and that the other person also appreciates the time that they're spending with me, right. You know, no matter who it is, friend, guy, anyone really. I think it's important.
And it's hard because it's just crazy, like, to be with someone and like love them, or I don't know the term, I guess, infatuation, so much that you like forget about yourself, you know. Like, you put this person first over your friends, over your family. Like, you're not present when it's just like you're literally like, I don't know, you're just like, it feels like you're mentally insane, because it just feels like that.
I mean, it's called obsession.
Yeah, maybe that's
it's like an addiction. It's like an addiction. Obsession.
I never want that again.
So this is what I don't understand with women such as yourselves.
Okay. We probably don't understand it either, honestly.
You have all these like anger towards the person who you felt wronged you in so many ways. And yet you sit here and protect them and protect their image and don't put them on blast and still
you're right,
keep them in the safe zone.
You're right.
I don't understand that.
I think this is way more than I thought I was going to talk, so I probably will end up saying everything at the end of it, because why not? But
I just stand by, like, and I just stand on, I don't think two wrongs ever make a right. So I don't really need to put the person on like a big, you know, giant lights and blast. But at the same time,
everyone should fucking know.
But I'm not talking about like saying their name and like who, what their social security is.
You mean their social security.
Yeah, like what they've done. You know what I mean? It's
because that would take us 4 hours for me at least.
Yes, if you were talking about every detail, but the reality of it is you could pretty much say
the reality of my situation was that he was DMing literally everyone in LA, and it was like a talked about joke, and I didn't know that joke existed until 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So that's honestly simple. It's embarrassing. Like I feel embarrassed to have been associated and so like consumed by someone.
Yeah, I guess
like
more
that.
so when she said that it came into my mind because somebody else was doing that. We had another episode that we had sort of the same situation. And it was like, just like these people are constantly getting protected. And it's like the whole point of, this show and just talking about dating and talking about relationships, people to start to understand these patterns that are within so many different relationships. And the younger you are, the less you're inclined to recognize them. And you've heard the saying, hurt people. And so now you guys are, so there's this, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a darkness within you that sort of like what you said. It's like, you're never going to date again, as a result of. It
really does. It really messes with someone when you mess with someone and you mess with their head, or you do things that just, when you break someone down like that and you break their trust, it ruins their trust for many people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people I don't trust now. There's a lot of people I removed from my life for that person, and it was not worth it. It was, I mean, then again, everything does happen for a reason, so I don't really have much animosity or grudge or anything, but there's it messes with people when you don't give someone what they deserve, or you don't kind of, if you string them along, or you cheat, or you lie, or you kind of betray them, and just foundation level, just as a friend or a person to person, when you betray someone like that, it has long-term effects. Absolutely. I also think LA is a very vile place to date too, as I said. I think that it's funny because now there's situationships, there's boyfriend and girlfriend, there's dating, there's exclusive but not dating, there's exclusive but not boyfriend and girlfriend. I mean, there's all these different terms for these things, and it's, I don't know if it's everywhere, but it's definitely here.
You lived in Arizona. Was that not the case there?
No.
I mean, it was college, so I feel like no one
was exclusive or in a relationship.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little bit, but it was stupid. Like, in Tucson, it's 100 degrees. Everyone's naked the whole entire time,
and you're
like everyone's hooking up with everyone.
People will hook up in bathrooms at parties and stuff. It's insane. It was gross. It was. And I don't know if that's where every other college is too. I really don't know, but yeah, it was definitely more so. I don't know if people dated, honestly. I think people dated, but they cheated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of.
Same
thing happens everywhere.
Here. Yeah, I just think it's more intensified here because of how there's always something going on. In Arizona and Tucson, you're not gonna be able to find much to do on a Monday. In LA, you can find anything at all hours to do. So people that are kind of looking for that are gonna naturally just fall into it. I also don't. It's funny. Do you believe in the once a cheater, always a cheater?
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We're also saying this is
I didn't think I did, but now I do.
I
just don't think that. I think if you cheat, you don't have remorse for like things, so you might naturally fall back into it.
Well, it's more so if you cheat and you're not apologetic towards it.
But what if
people are good at faking apologies?
What if you're only apologetic when that person finds out?
That's just manipulation.
Well, it depends on the response, but yes, majority of the time. But if it happens again, you know.
And again.
But there's the saying, fool me once, shame on you.
Yeah.
Fool me twice, shame on me, right?
Well, fool me 3 times, then I'm the fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
me.
You
can't even be mad anymore.
Right.
So we were talking
about
this.
I wasn't even mad. I was like, oh, well, bye.
We were talking about this, too, and we were like, you get him how you lose him.
Yeah.
I met this guy because he DM'd me. I lost him because he was DMing other people.
Right.
So it was full circle. Yeah. Which was just lovely.
Okay, so here's a question. What's the most toxic thing about her?
Ooh. I already feel like I know the answer.
I don't know. I don't know what.
Whatever you think.
I guess you say it.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's like my only friend that I can actually be like, I can like put in her place. My other friends, I don't confront anyone. I don't.
And you don't think she's toxic?
Her?
Yeah.
I think she's really hurt. Like, you're just like, you've been through a lot in your life, and like you.
But that's nor here nor there. The two aren't mutually exclusive.
I don't think. I mean, there's been times where I feel like it could be like a little bit toxic, but I don't know.
I would say probably
a little bit manipulative, but that's it.
Wait, how?
What else?
My ego.
Yes. Okay, that's what I was.
My ego.
About, yeah.
What's wrong with her ego?
I don't even know how to explain it, honestly. My ego is
off the charts?
No, I wouldn't say off the charts. It's gotten a lot better. It was off the charts, definitely in college. I thought I was like the best and coolest person, and I don't mean that to say like I was like on this high horse. I just thought that like I could do whatever I want, and like, you know, like not even consequences for my actions, just more so like I came first.
The rules didn't apply to you.
Yeah, or like I came first, and you know, and
but you didn't act that way towards me.
I don't act that way towards a lot of people, but I still act towards that way towards just in general. So I don't know. Sometimes I'm trying to think of like the past week. You were like, your ego like calmed. Oh, we were outside. Perfect example. We were outside this place, and I was like, we were waiting for our friend to come get us at the door, and she was like, "You're not Kylie Jenner. You need to calm down. Like, calm down."
We're outside Elefante. Everyone has a rereservation, and everyone's waiting. And
we have a reservation. And I'm like,
dude,
oh, I don't want to
relax.
stand out here. And she's like, "You need to calm down. Like, we're gonna get it. Like, it's fine."
Uh-huh.
So maybe that's just my patience too. Maybe I'm just not a patient person.
I think that's also
Uh-huh.
That's an ego.
Let's do Carly.
The most toxic thing about her?
Yeah.
She's honestly one of the nicest people I know, if not the nicest. But that is also a weakness, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't think she's toxic though. No, I don't think she's toxic at all. Then again, this is why I can't fully answer that question, is because she was so closed off when she was in the relationship, in her relationship. So.
Well, yeah, that's bad.
Exactly. So I didn't really know how you act in a relationship, but I know you're very loyal. I don't know what other toxic things, but I think that you can sometimes be like, because you don't like confrontation, sometimes you don't stick up for yourself, and I don't think that that's good. But you have me to do that for you. So
I don't like it. I just I'd rather not deal with it.
You don't come off like a person who doesn't like confrontation.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, because
maybe
I
you're
had
getting
it for
better.
like 4 years. I wasn't myself, you know. Now I'm back to it a little bit. I'm getting there.
So the fire is just
starting again.
The other day, we're helping each other out. Like, there was a situation with someone, and he wasn't treating her in person the way that she wanted, and she had to leave, and she was like,
okay, that was also
my
response was so warranted.
This
is an example. Okay, we were at dinner. I told one of my friends, what a friend, I don't even know. He came to the dinner with us. It was 3 of our girlfriends, us 2, obviously, or one of the 2 of the 3. But so he came a little late to the dinner. Very like rigid in a sense, like very like never once really like looked over and talked to me or anything. In the middle of the dinner, these like they were hot, there were these moms or something, I don't know, they were older, and he's literally like is eating and like looks up, and he's walking each person go by, and he's like, damn. And I
Yeah.
was, oh my God. And I was like, I looked over and I was like,
We were all like,
and then I looked at my
what?
friends and I was like, wait, did that just happen? Am I in a fever dream? So I automatically got up because I am trying to learn how to calm myself down a little bit. Got up, went to the restroom, came back, and I just looked at him and I was like, why did you do that? Like, that's just so disrespectful. You're just going to check out girls and like make a comment about it. And he was like, no, I was just saying like it's crazy because like people watching is just so crazy. And I was like, that's what you can come up with? That's the excuse?
I don't understand the issue.
But, the issue was she was like texting me about it and I was like, are you okay? Like from the bathroom. And she's like, please say something. And I'm like,
what's the issue in terms of what he did?
Yeah.
I just think that if you're gonna come to dinner with someone and meet someone and
he was there to meet you guys.
yeah, he was there for her. And he's like snapping his neck like, holy shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was just a random friend.
No,
that's how
no,
you
no.
made it sound like at first. I thought he was like a
he was
random
like a guy
person.
that's been interested in whatever.
Got it. Okay.
We went on a date. I don't know, whenever. And
Got it.
Yeah, and it was very disrespectful. Like
Right.
you're gonna check out people, and then on top of that, check out, like, it's fine. I'm not gonna get mad if you're gonna check out people. Everyone checks people out or looks at other people. That's natural. There's a bunch of people.
Yeah, but out loud,
you're
have
just
a
gonna blatantly
outburst.
like.
Bold. That's
and you're
bold.
also he was meeting my friends for the first time too. So it's like I'm introducing you to my friends, and I would like you to kind of behave maybe and
Sure.
not present
we were
yourself.
like excited for this.
Yeah, we were, and it just became weird very quickly. But I told her, like, I was like, can you say something? And she was
I
like
closed up. I'm like, please, I don't want to. Like, what am I gonna say? Like, hey, like, Heva's really mad, or like, I don't know, like, that's just not me. I'm like, fine for you. I know you're gonna kill me if I don't say something. And he's in a deep conversation with my friend, and I'm like, Heva's a little mad at you. Like, what am I supposed to say? And then I ended up saying something.
See, that's
so I was
why you
proud of
say
myself.
things on the spot.
Yeah, well,
you
should
see the
have.
two different
But you
reactions.
got too mad. You got like your body was like fight mode.
I just shut down, like shut
Yeah,
off.
I saw the whole thing. I was like, oh my God, this guy's not good news for you.
No, yeah,
But
and then gets better.
It gets better.
Gets better. He follows her on Instagram. We're in her bed. We're like thinking about breakfast the next day. She gets a DM from him. He DM'd her. So I text him and I'm like, really? You really? And he was like, oh my God. He goes, what? Yeah, she's cool. She cool is actually what
cool.
he said. Like, you couldn't even add the apostrophe. It's fine. She cool. And I was like, that's my best friend. He was like, yeah, I just know some cool sushi spots. Let me rock out. That's what he said. Let me rock out. And I was like, honestly, I wish you the best. Yep.
Yeah. Bye.
How old is this kid?
My age.
Younger.
My
Yeah,
age.
23.
23, yeah.
Mm.
The guy I was seeing was not 23.
When he like responded to my story at first, I was like,
He sent the eye emoji.
she was upset about the
eye
ex
emoji.
situation, the ex, and he swiped up, and I was like, fuck, do I say something? Or do I wait for her to like calm down? And I was like, I need a like if this were me, I would want to know right away. So I was just like, I turned my phone and I was like, he only sent the eye emoji to like my story out, and then I was like, there's no way he's gonna say anything else.
And her story wasn't even of her too.
It was
like
like
literally,
waterfront.
it was like a waterfront, and it was like a table with like glasses on
Yeah.
it. It wasn't anything
eye emoji,
like.
and I sent a question mark. I'm like, no, hey, but it's like platonic, like. He's not interested
No one
in me,
sends the
like,
eye emoji
whatever.
that
And I'm like,
platonically.
there's no way he's going to answer. Like, if he does, like, that's so annoying. And then he said, like, let's kick it soon. I know some good sushi spots because I have, like, a food Instagram, and I love posting food. And then I was like, okay, yeah.
So this was a blind date, yeah?
No.
It wasn't
a blind date. I had hung out with him before, but
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it was not a blind date. No, I was
I
blind.
mean, I'm
to-
trying to give him all benefit of the doubt. It's
No,
just-
See, now you're protecting him.
No.
No.
I'm trying. Here's the thing: when you hear stories in any way, shape, or form,
Yeah.
from one party, right? There's
Right, there's always
always
another story.
unsaid.
My mom
Right.
says this. There's always three sides to a story: yours, theirs, and the truth. And the truth is somewhere in between, mashed in together with details either missing or added, right? So you can't really deny that though. Like it was a checking out. Okay, whatever. And then
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm
but then the
trying to-
DM on top of that is just like, okay, really.
And then not even, like, apologetic. He's like, she's cool. Like, let me do my thing.
Let me
That's
rock
crazy
out.
to me.
I've every day since that happened. So for like a week, every day, it's randomly, I'll just say, "Let me rock out, Carly."
Yeah, we keep saying little like things like mottos like that or whatever.
Trying to think of another one.
Let me show you fools.
Yeah.
So my so I blocked my ex on like, well, not everything. I blocked his number because if I see you out of sight, out of mind, I don't want to.
Right.
I give in too easily, and like I'm serious this time, and like no one believes me.
I don't think you would give it. No, I don't think you would give in this time because the stuff he was doing was appalling.
Yeah, my roommate posted us out at one of the clubs like last week on Sunday, and he like swiped out. He was like typing gibberish like, "I hate Carly.
She's the worst.
Fuck Carly. She's the worst." And I'm like, I literally didn't do anything. And then he's like, "I'm gonna show you fools." And so like now,
like, what does that mean? What are you gonna show me?
Yeah, show up. I actually got scared. I was like,
no,
okay,
like I think he's gonna rock out and show us that he's rocking out. No, and then can I say the private story one?
Yeah, that shit was weird.
We learned a new word today: night walkers.
Yeah, what's a night walker?
A prostitute. We did some figuring out.
He put me on so he had out of sight, out of mind. I don't really check his socials or anything, but he had a Snapchat story. He doesn't ever post on Snapchat. It's complete black screen, and it's like a private Snapchat story, and it's like clearly just for me. And it's like the first one says like night walkers, laughing face, and then the next one's like, should have listened to like blah 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 3 years ago about me. I don't know what. And then he started posting like rap quotes or something. And it was like just a blank screen.
No class in your veins, but broken
glass and puppets and something. And I'm like, are you okay? I just want to genuinely know, like, are you okay?
I don't.
Like, that's not weird behavior.
He's not okay.
Weird.
But I don't understand. Why is he upset about you guys'
I don't
breakup?
know, but that's
narcissism,
the thing.
projection, things like that. His response to everything that she discovered was, "You know, I'm not this person."
That's bullshit.
But your actions are showing that you are that person.
But what did he do? I still don't understand.
Well, long story short, after getting back together, like a year and a half ago, I was like, I just had a feeling.
Just do big picture, like bullet point.
Yeah, I was like, the last like 7 months, 8 months or whatever, I was like really just like, I'm trusting you. We're literally together 24/7. We FaceTime all the time, like talk all the time. Like I just want to be happy. Like I want to be, if it's delusional,
her
then
stuff
whatever.
is worse. I tell you.
And so I was presented with his phone, his opportunity, and I took it. And I was like, okay, like if this is the one, I don't want to be delusional. Like, am I really like putting all this time and effort into someone? And then I went on it. I'm not that crazy. I wouldn't do it if I didn't have a feeling.
I was presented with.
I was literally like here.
So
I never.
It was sitting somewhere.
No, like someone like I just had the opportunity to go on his phone, and I took it. And I learned this trick on TikTok. If you like go in like your messaging app and you go and like edit on the new update, it's like show recently deleted, and a lot of people don't know that.
Uh-huh.
So tip for everyone. Yeah. I just found all this stuff and like just a lot of things, like a lot of texts with girls. And then I'm an FBI agent at this point. Like I've learned, I went to like his blocked list on Instagram and I saw like 15, like maybe like 10 to 15 girls. And so I would like go, the first one I went to, I'm blocked on her Instagram. I'm like, oh, well, that's just a given. Like, why am I blocked? Why are you blocking me? So then
one thing is that he did, then this one shocked me.
No, I'll get to that. But
that one's crazy.
So I like,
you know which one I'm talking
the craziest thing is like, this is so, like, I found all this out before we were supposed to go to like a really nice dinner with his family. And I knew that it was going to be the last time I was ever going to like be that with them. And I was like, I called my best friend, well, besides you. And I told her, I was like, yo, like, I just found all this stuff. I need proof because I don't have like hardcore proof he ever like met up with anyone. I mean, I have texts. I just don't have proof that anything happened. And she's like, okay, like you either come home now and you blow it up right now, or you sit through the dinner and then you like come home like later. And I was like, I think I can like deal with the dinner because if this is going to be for me, like a going away dinner, like I'm just going to like really absorb what it's like to be around him now and like end it, like find all the proof and then end it. Went to the dinner. The whole entire time I was just like wanting to kill him. But I was fine. I mean, I love his mom and I love his family and I love his friends. So I was like fine. And then the next day I like reached out to like some girls and I like got some confirmation. And then I like saw
that
like,
he had hooked up with these girls.
Yeah, because he like travels a lot for work and like like some of the like one girl's bio was like New York City, and he was just there like 2 weeks prior, and I messaged her and I was like, hey, like, how do you know my boyfriend? This was after we broke up, but I still said my boyfriend because I wanted her to tell me. And she's like, oh, like he's on this app. It's called Field. It's like it's like for like
people who travel.
No, it's like a kink, like threesome app. It's like an app that you're like seeking out like weird things. Like not weird because I'm all for sexual stuff. Kinky stuff. Like all for it. Like thank you for showing me the app. Appreciate that. She's like, yeah. I met him on the app. He was like really persistent on hanging out with me, and I thought it was weird, so I didn't hang out with him. But like he was on the app and like trying to like hook up, and I was like, okay, thank you. And then I called another girl, and then she told me like, yeah, like last month he was here and we hooked up, and like to the point where like I'd be like probably on like FaceTime with him on like we would sleep over FaceTime. It's so cringe now, but. Like, I just love to, like, be, like, if he's traveling, I want to be on the phone with you and fall asleep.
Sure.
And he would, like, leave his phone in the hotel room, so, because I track him, and he'd go Uber, and then come back, and I'm still on the phone.
Weird.
With another phone he would go?
No, he would just leave his phone. From the messages I got, that's what happened, because he's like, my phone's dying, and I'm like, that's because I was on FaceTime, and he would just, like, leave. And, yeah. And then when I called him, when I found all this out, and I was like, God, I really was rooting for us. Like, I really wanted it to be us, but... I didn't want to leave. I honestly was like, I literally told my friend, I was like, I just want to be with him. And she's like, you're actually insane. Like, get out of there. Like, you're crazy. He's insane. So then I called him and I was like, hey, like, I know that you hung out. You came to my house yesterday, literally yesterday, the day before Halloween. For like a little, like 10 minutes, you stopped by on the way. And he said, I'm going to a client lunch or whatever. You then went and hung out with a girl. They didn't hook up. I went to hang out with a girl on her lunch break. I don't really know where. I don't remember what she said, but literally they talked about me, and then you came back to my house to hang out with me. My roommate made you fucking lunch, and then you went to your like sports game thing. And like that type of stuff. Like that, when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, like he was acting weird when he came over. But like my body was telling me like when he came over, like so excited, he like calls me. He's like, I'm on the way. Like I'm just gonna stop by for like 10 minutes and then go to like his boss. Like we have a client thing, and then I'm gonna come back, hang out with you, and then I'm gonna go to the Laker game or whatever. And I'm like, yay! Like I'm so excited. And like looking back, that was so delusional. But I mean, I was happy in the moment because he wanted to see me. But yeah, like that type of stuff. Like I don't know if it's crazy to anyone else, but
is that what Heva was talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the part of the story. It's just the fact that he came over, used her restroom.
Yeah.
Took a shit.
And then like left, and then went to see this other girl, and then came back.
At a mall. It just sounds like to me, it sounds like
it was
at
a mall.
middle
Or was
school.
at her work. I don't know. It
doesn't matter. It's just like
how old is he?
29.
So he's like a serial cheater. Are these girls hot or
no?
Like what? Okay.
No offense.
No.
No offense.
They're just like normal.
Yeah, like completely normal. I don't even know if he hooked up with that one, but I was blocked, and they were talking they met it all happened when I was either traveling or he was traveling. Like when I was in Vegas with my friends, he met her at this restaurant and then was texting her, and she's like, I wish you didn't have a girlfriend. And he's like, well, we can go night swimming and like it can be professional. And then the messages kind of stopped after that because like he got a new phone and I was on the old phone. So like I don't know how but the fact that was September 23rd, and then I found this out on October 30th, like the fact that he just had seen her the day before, like they were definitely like texting a little bit or something, like I don't know. And I was blocked on her Instagram. She blocked me, so she knew about me. Another girl was like, he was in Colorado, and he's like, I'm back in Colorado, like come to the game. And he's like, we can have a fun halftime. And she's like, I can't make it. So then he went and hooked up with someone else that night. And then she's like, but can I come to LA and see you? He's like, it's a little trickier that way. Like, and she's like, well, can we FaceTime? And he's like, it's like, you need to text me first. And like, this is like literally while I'm at his house.
What does he do?
He works for a sports agency.
How does he have so much time?
He doesn't have so much time. I don't know how. I really have no idea.
I was going to dinner and the guy that I was with was literally DMing someone else saying, do you have a boyfriend? And she was like, or like, no, he said, just randomly DM'd her, hey, beautiful. And then she replied, he was like, what are you up to? And she was like, I just left the beach. I'm, what about you? And he's like, I'm going to dinner. He was going to dinner with me.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, when are you, once again,
I don't know.
why are you doing it? It's
I
like,
don't know. It's actually insane to me.
I don't understand. Because, like, what are you getting out of it? Attention? I thought that, like, the cliche, or like the what people think are that girls want attention, right? Girls want attention on social media, and girls, like, but what are you getting? Like, you're
validation.
You're I guess
it's your ego being stroked. It's feeling good about yourself.
But what I don't get is, I literally would, like, when we got back together, I'm not like so chill, but it's like I would not want to be in an open relationship, but I would rather you tell me and be honest. And, like, if you're like one week you're like, hey, like, I'm feeling this, like, craving or whatever you want to call it, to, like, go hook up with other people, then, like, I would rather, like, you be honest, and then me being like, okay, like, maybe we should be open and, like, go hook up with other people.
Right.
And then, like, reconvene or, like, figure it out. Like, I just don't want to hate you like I do now. Right. Or not hate you, but I don't want to, like, have to block you like I have to do now. And I literally told him that, just be honest. Like, I'm all honesty. If you're like if you respect and love me, like, you just be straight up.
Right.
And I will accept it. And, like, I'll figure, like, we'll get through it, because I want to be with you long term. And if you can't do that, like, which he didn't, like, I didn't want to get to this point, and it is at that point. But
right. I mean, that's the next thing that I was going to bring up, but it seems like you already talked about it, and he didn't take the opportunity. So when you confronted him, what did he say?
It was on FaceTime, and I was like, I know you're with whatever yesterday. I'm like, who the fuck is that? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, I also know that you slept with whatever her face is in Colorado, even though this girl never answered me, but I knew that they slept together because the text. I just lied and was like, she told me. So, like, I was like, please, like, I'm already gonna hate you, but, like, if you have 1 ounce of respect for me and love, like, just be honest and stop fucking lying. Like, it's enough. Like, I already hate you, but, like, I'll hate you a little bit less if you just say it to my face. At least about one person. He's like, yeah, I slept with her. And I was like, thank you. That's all I fucking asked. And then I was like, never fucking talk to me again. I'm so done with you. And then hung up. And then I was, like, kind of rage texting him, like, for, like, a day. And then
saying what?
Just, like, crazy shit. Like, I don't know. Like, I was just being mean, and he was being mean back, and he was, I don't know why. But then I, like, went to therapy. I started, cause like, a few months ago, I, like, got a little hammered. We got drunk, and we went out, and a girl, like, went up to him at this bar, and I didn't even, like, she was like, my friend thinks you're really cute, and I didn't even let him respond. I was just like, that's my boyfriend, like, fuck off. And he got so mad that I acted that way, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, it was a little bit mean, but I have issues, and you didn't fucking respond right away. So I was just like, she didn't even see me, and I was like, that's my boyfriend, like, what are you doing? And she's like, oh my god, like, you're so pretty, thank you, like, I'm sorry. And I was like, fuck off. I shouldn't have said that. But after that, we fought, like, all night, and then he was like, you need therapy, like, you need to control your emotions. I won't be with you if you don't get therapy. So then I did the research to find a therapist, and it just happened to be that, like, it took me, like, a month and a half or, like, 2 months to find one. And then I was like, my first session was, like, after, like, the week we broke up. And then she was like, is he blocked? Like, are you giving his stuff back? And I'm like, I don't even know. I just don't ever want to see him again. And she's like, I think that because I don't know, like, every time, like, I would, like, flip my phone over, I was, like, expecting a text. I don't even know if I wanted a text.
Sure.
But then she's like, well, what if you just block him, and then you don't even have to think about that? And that was the best thing I ever did. Like, I don't even, like, yeah, like, sometimes I see him looking at my stories still on Instagram, but
she doesn't really get sad. Sometimes I still get a little sad.
Yeah.
I was sad yesterday.
But he sent me a DM because he had a storage unit, and I had, like, the smallest TV you've ever seen in your life in my living room, and everyone would be like, dude, you're literally watching an iPad. So his family, like, said, oh, like, we have 2 big TVs in our storage, you should go get them. Ryan, he didn't even help me go get them. I just went on my own with my cousin and picked these big ass TVs up, like, a year ago. And then he DM'd me 2 days ago. I'm like, what day is it? Yesterday, maybe? And he was like, you're being so disrespectful on social media, just
which
like
she's
your friends.
not. She's
which I'm not. I'm just
like,
posting.
She's not posting
out.
Guys. She's not posting her.
I'm not posting,
like,
anything about him.
And she's not posting any provocative things or anything like that.
And he was just like, long story short, like, it was a big paragraph. And he was like, I need my chains back, which I don't have his necklaces. Like, he would leave his necklace. You know, when you're boyfriend, girlfriend, you leave your stuff at each other's places. I gave him back his stuff. My roommate, like, he came over and picked him up when I was gone. And I would have put his chains in the bag if I had them. I don't want any of his stuff. And he's like, I need my chains back and also my TVs. I'll get someone legally involved if I don't get those back. And I like screenshotted it. I sent it to my family. I'm like, can someone else handle this? Like, I don't want to deal with this. I like don't want to. I'm like, I don't want him in my house. So my brother was like, I'm calling him. I'm like, what are you going to do? 24-year-old in San Francisco? Like, what is that going to what is that going to help? So then my dad sent him a text and was like, if you want your stuff, like totally understand that, like respect that. Then talk to me about it. I'll get your TVs. You need to hire someone to come get them off the wall and then you can come pick them up. And he just disregarded that and was just like, I just want my chains back. And he's like, we don't have them. And yeah. Here we are today.
Yeah, so there's all that.
I just don't want any. I'm like, please leave me alone. Like, just leave me alone.
Yeah, breakups are rough.
Yeah, but honestly, I'm having a great time. We've been having some fun.
So now you're continuing therapy.
Yeah. And I used to have another therapist that we didn't mesh well. And I always thought, I was like, oh, therapy's not going to be great. But this one, we really do. Like, my second time was yesterday, actually. And I was amazed by like, what we worked through
Progress,
in that situation. Yeah.
It's awesome. Good for you. Yeah, keep it going.
Thank you. Yeah.
Heva, are you an only child?
Yes, I am. How did you know?
It's pretty obvious.
Oh. I am an only child, yeah.
Huh?
I am an only child, just me.
Yeah.
How is it obvious?
I get that a lot, actually. I don't think that's a good thing.
Is that a compliment or an insult?
No. I don't think it's a good.
I wouldn't say an insult.
Right.
I think that's a little drastic. It's definitely not a compliment.
At least we're being honest.
It's just what is, which is the traits are fairly specific.
Okay.
So it's always it's either that or you are you're like last, but your older siblings are like way older.
Yeah.
So, and the way usually is the entitlement, sort
Sounds
of the
like someone I know, not you.
Yeah, lack of patience, being if the truth is always the truth is mean. You know. So,
well, an only child, like, because I always tell people this, because some people ask me, like, how is it growing up as an only child? You get the best and the worst, but either way, you're getting it all. You're getting all the attention.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is negative, and sometimes it is positive.
That makes sense. I never thought about that.
Yeah, so I would either be absolutely commended for an accomplishment, or I would be ridiculed for, something. Yeah. So it's just literally, like, maybe that's probably why I thought the show was all about me. Just life.
Yeah.
College.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's also one thing you did was like you said something about your best friend, and then you looked at her and you said you're also my best friend.
Well, and yeah, but that doesn't have to do with her. That has to do with a different a friend that like got mad at another. I called someone a best friend, and then that person's friend got mad. So now when I say that, I get like a little triggered. I'm like, everyone's my best friend, okay? Everyone can be friends.
Yeah. I wouldn't get
but it wasn't so much that, more so her facial reaction after you said it.
I just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, yeah.
So those are like little indications of,
right.
Nor here nor there. I just wanted to make sure that I got it right. That's all.
Yeah. What if I was like, no, I have 6 siblings. I always wanted an older brother, though. I did always want an older brother.
Final question is the green bubble a red flag?
What's the green bubble?
Not having an iPhone. I love how I got that.
So when somebody texts,
if someone has green text, the green bubbles. Is it a red flag?
Is it a red flag if somebody has an Android, basically?
Can you FaceTime someone with an Android? No, that's only iPhones, right?
Well, FaceTime is for iPhones specifically. Okay. If you have, you could have WhatsApp, like a video call, Instagram, or whatever.
Skype.
Yeah.
I think it's cute.
You think it's cute?
I don't think it's a red flag.
Point for me.
It just depends. Like, I mean, also, I just don't know how to work an Android. I've seen them sometimes. I don't know.
You don't have to work it. I'm not saying like you need to like marry the guy and then like be his assistant using his phone. Like that's not what I'm saying. Is it a red flag? Like if somebody texts you and I
wouldn't say red flag. I would just say it's
let's
weird.
go on a date. Okay, so it's not a red flag.
Just different. Just
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Sounds good. Another point for me. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
We have this running God damn it, what's the word?
Joke?
Inside joke.
Poll.
Oh.
You know, with my co-host. And
what does it typically say? Red flag?
no, it's just different girls are
Yeah, what do they
despondent.
typically say? Yes?
I'm pretty sure I'm up right now. So,
Really?
yeah, I'm winning. But there
I
are a lot of girls who say that it is a red flag.
What I realized too is if you know what's the opposite of that? If from now on I said this to you, if I meet a guy and he doesn't have an Instagram, that's like plus 10 points. I don't think I ever want to
delete everything. Don't have a phone.
You're just traumatized by
I'm
Instagram
so
and DMs.
Dude, yeah. I was like, I was telling her all about it, and she was like, "How did you not think that he was like?"
She's so delusional. Sorry, but
I really like.
So are you?
I know, but at least
you're both delusional.
I just
actually one could argue you're worse, to be honest.
I know, but I guess in a different way, because she just thought like, oh, he's just DMing people. He's not like hooking.
No,
up
I didn't know he was. I caught him a couple times, and I was like,
"Oh my girl."
I went to dinner with one of my friends, and she was like, "He's been in my DMs."
Is that interesting? How from the outside you both could see each other's flaws in the relationship and your blindness.
She knew him before I did actually, so and she knew that he was like out and about. But I was assuming. I mean, I was gonna assume like, okay, you're older now. You know, we spend a lot of time together.
Hey, listen, you learn from your mistakes, and the reality of it is, as you get older, you start to, if you are capable of recognizing your parts of the mistakes, you can start to see patterns in people where then if you avoid them, you'll end up picking people who are going to be loyal to you, going to be committed to you, and your relationship is going to be
I think for a while too,
sunshines and flowers.
Definitely.
That's what I want.
And you'll see, for example, like that guy that I told you about that met us at the dinner. The guy that was the
MILF head
the MILF head snapper. They were really hot. They were hot, wow. But yeah.
I'm like,
sounds like a snake that was just discovered in Amazon.
No, literally.
But when we were there, when he first got there, he like, and we were all dressed up and like, I'm not ashamed to say it anymore, but like, I want someone that's gonna compliment me when they approach me, and that they give me that like attention and affection, and it's not a bad thing to want it. You know what I mean? Or especially from one person, you know,
that you're supposed to be caring about, and they're supposed to be attracted to you.
Spending time with, like, I don't think that. I think I brush that under the rug a lot, and honestly, sometimes I still, like you said, taking accountability and kind of noticing certain things so that in the future, or learning from your mistakes. For a second, or no, honestly, I still kind of sit there and blame myself for maybe if I did something differently, I wouldn't have been treated that way. But I also think that people are the way they are, and they're going to treat you. I told you this. They're going to probably, and I had a really big realization, people are going to treat you how exactly they perceive you. So the way I view myself, the way I view her, I speak so highly of her. I think of her, she's one of the best people I've ever met. I consider her family. So, for example, but the way I view her is not the way that her ex viewed her. Sure. You know, so it's a hard thing to understand, but it was a realization that kind of has kind of been helping me. But then it makes naturally it's gonna make you question yourself. Definitely, why were you not enough for someone, or why you know your attention and your time was not enough for someone.
Well, what I like to always say is that it's never about you. It never is. And that's really the bottom line. I mean, that person could have had Megan Fox, Angelina Jolie, Ariana Grande, and fucking Kim Kardashian all in one place and still would go and cheat on all of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Probably.
And that's just the reality of it, because, you know, as men, we're wired differently. And if you if you allow your demons to run wild, it is going to be extremely difficult to reel them back in.
What do you think about once a cheater, always a cheater? Do you think that's true?
I think change is possible for anyone. It's funny because yesterday I was talking to my dad about someone, and he said, "Do you think he could change?" And I said, "No," and because I think there are there's aspects of your personality and traits that you could change, but there are some things that are just who you are as a person, and depending on the person, if if the need to have sex, right, is an addiction, then it's probably going to be very difficult to change. Is it possible? Sure. But it's going to be difficult.
It takes a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it's just somebody giving into temptation, then
Right. So it's an addiction.
then you have to, but you see, the problem is like, then you have to look at where that's coming from, you know, and most of the time it's because you're addicted to the need of attention and validation, and that is a little bit more complicated to overcome. So
I also think that if you're doing that at an older age, I don't think that you're gonna change. You know what I mean? So like if you cheat and you're in college or when you're in high school, right? You're so young and your brain's still kind of figuring things out and you're learning things. Whereas I just think that if you're getting older and you're still cheating and you're still being like that, you're most likely you're just gonna cheat on the next person you're with. It's also,
and that's not gonna be me.
No.
Well, you got to keep in mind, it's also sometimes just getting it out of your system. So depending on how old you are,
True.
when you started, you know, the reality of it is, like, I had, like, one of my best friends went through this fuckboy phase, right? Where beforehand, you know, we would have conversations. He'd be like, yeah, like, I don't understand how you could just like be with one person and like spend hours and just like talk and like, you know, do all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you don't understand because you've never met the right person who actually is compatible with you in that way. And then he meets the person and then he's like, oh damn, like I could talk to this girl for hours. I understand what you were saying. And then, you know, I had this thing that I was talking to him about how I don't like one night stands, and like I tend to sleep with my friends more so than I do with just random people.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just don't like you meet a random person, you know nothing about them, there's no emotional connection whatsoever, and like I just don't like that. And he went through this phase of just like sleeping with like random chicks, and then came out of it and he was like, yeah, you know, I don't really like doing that anymore. I was like, now you understand. Like, it's just, you know, every time he would have to like experience these things exactly.
He had to go through it.
And then understand.
At least
so, like,
he came out the other side.
Right. And so these, you know, this is sort of the same situation. It's like if you have a guy who's been, you know, whatever the background is, but like, let's say they just never were able to get girls, and then all of a sudden they turn 20 something, mid 20s, whatever. And all of a sudden they flourish, and, you know, girls are hitting on them and giving them attention. And he's like, oh shit, I've got this one girl, I could commit to her, but like, this seems to be something that I've always wanted to experience. But let me see if I could have both. And then you end up fucking it up, you know? And that's the thought there, is like, you know, the reason why they lie is because they don't want to lose you. So you should really take it as a compliment more so than an insult. You know,
that's a good perspective.
And that's just the reality of it. Like, we don't lie. Like, if I didn't give a fuck, I told you the truth, you know?
Right.
I lie because, one, I don't want to hurt you. Two, I'm a coward and I'm afraid of losing you.
Yeah.
So then I start to make shit up just so I could get away with it.
Right.
But then, you know, you're going crazy because your intuition is telling you that you're right, but then you're hearing something that you don't want to accept it because there is no actual proof there.
Yeah, you just spoke about my whole last 3 years.
She.
Yeah, no, I get it.
She's you kind of said that to me when you were like she told me, because I had discovered a couple of things like in August and September, and she told me, she was like, if you're okay with him potentially seeing other people, then stay in it. But it seems like that isn't what you want, because I would never want to spend, I don't want to spend 90% of my time with someone, right? And then they're also giving other people attention. I feel like loyalty is just,
well, again, you're an only child, so I suppose that's less likely to be something you would be into anyway.
Loyalty?
No, being in an open relationship.
Yeah, no way.
Which I believe is the cure to society's problems, but
really,
it's a completely different conversation. Yeah, I think sex is an emotional act, and so is jealousy, ego, and feeling that you
belong to someone or
possession.
Possession.
Yeah. And so if every single one of those things are emotional, if you take those out and think about it logically, what it comes down to is you're left with the feeling of happiness, fulfillment, and the desire to live life. And within that aspect, if you have one guy that is having sex with both of you, let's say, and you're all in like a throuple, exactly, you know, and you are getting the happiness and every positive feelings that you could possibly get, and you're getting all the positive feelings that you could possibly get, then why not live that way, you know? The reason why people don't do it is because we hone in on the negative feelings, which is the jealousy and the ego and, you know, the desire to possess someone and feeling like, oh, like I just want him for myself and nobody else. But is life really supposed to be lived that way?
Yeah. Also, I don't know.
I think I could be not okay with it. I don't know.
I think you would be really good in an open relationship.
With communication and all of that, I feel like I would be.
You might thrive, honestly.
Maybe I should try it. I don't know.
It might work for you. And the bottom line is
it's all personal preference, but it's also, I do appreciate that perspective a lot. For sure.
And the reality of it is if you think about it, what is it that within us is holding us back from letting go of these negative thoughts and feelings? You know, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. I was like, for example, the concept of being gay or being straight, right? And somebody asked me, would you ever be with a trans person? And I was like, when you look at somebody that I'm physically attracted to women, you know, and that's just, you know, that's just how I am. I'm not attracted to men. But I've always thought to myself, is it me not being attracted to men, or is it society making me feel like I shouldn't be? Right. And then, you know, it came down to the fact that I'm not attracted to men. However, I am attracted to women. So if I see a trans person, then they look like a woman, and then I would be attracted to them. But then what's left is the sexual parts, right? And then if you really think about it, it's like the sexual parts are the things that you're not. It's just what you're presented with. We don't really we don't have any sense of it. A man knows their own, and women know their own. You know, when I saw a vagina for the first time, you know, to me it was a foreign thing. I was like, what is that, and why does this, you know? And that's actually because I lost my virginity to my girlfriend at the time, who also lost her virginity to me. And the most insane part of our sexual experience was when we had sex for the first time, she was looking at my dick and she was like, wow. And I was like, what's going on? She was touching it, and she was like, how does it grow so much? And I was like, and I thought about it for the first time. I was like, I actually don't know how that happens.
I don't know.
You know? Yeah. So it's if you think about it that way, every feeling that you have towards something is almost infused by society into your brain, and just the bias that you're taught from a very young age, that you're supposed to be feeling this way as opposed to something else. You know, whether it's religion, because, you know, religion comes into the mix, and they're like, don't do this, do this, don't do this, do this. And then right and wrong becomes very black and white in that aspect. When reality, right and wrong are sort of gray most of the time. You know? Yeah. And also, another aspect of it is killing, for example. Is killing right or wrong? And the reality of it is, everybody justifies it when it fits their narrative. Hey, we went to war and we just killed a bunch of people, and now it's all of a sudden okay. But then if you killed somebody that on the street was you know, I don't know,
on a stroll,
yeah, it's just that. Then that's you know, that's wrong. So it's perceptions, and everybody just kind of goes and it believes in what they believe, and then they try to shove it down everybody else's throat based upon their own belief system. So
yeah, honestly, I'm kind of changing a lot in my mind. I've never also wanted to get married, so I think, you know, marriage is for the rest of your life. One person for the rest of your life.
So then maybe open relationships for you as well.
I want to get married. Not right now.
You have multiple husbands, imagine.
Polyamorous, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's for us.
Yeah.
Pull it. How do you say it?
I mean, you guys are already soulmates. Like, it could work.
I
You
know.
never know. Yeah.
Maybe. We should get married to each
Heva's
other.
like,
If I were to marry a girl, it would be Carly for sure.
Well, good for you guys.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thanks
Maybe
so much for.
Maybe the next time you see us, we'll be married.
Yeah, I know. We'll have another conversation.
Yeah.
Once you guys are together, be like, I'm going to take credit for this one. Thanks for coming on the show. I really appreciate you guys.
Thanks for
Thanks for
having
having
You've
us.
been
us.
fantastic. Thanks for being honest and open.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Thank you
having us.
us.
Thanks for changing our perspective a little.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.